After turning 70, many people quietly wonder, how much time do I really have left to live well, to live with joy, to live with meaning? It's not fear. It's a very real and human reflection. Maybe you've started to notice some changes. Your hands feel weaker, your steps are slower, sleep just isn't as deep as it used to be. But here's the truth. Those small shifts are your body's way of speaking to you. I believe longevity isn't found in a doctor's chart or a bottle of pills. It's hidden in the little things you do every day, in your movements, your mindset, your daily rhythm. It's shaped by how present you are, how connected you stay, and how well you listen to what your body is trying to tell you. In today's video, I'll walk you through 7 quiet signs, all backed by science, that can predict how long and how well you may live after 70. Not to scare you, but to empower you. Because the truth is, life isn't over, it's still unfolding, and you deserve to live it fully, deeply, and with clarity. Let's take that first step together, starting now. Sign number 1, walking speed, the silent heartbeat of your health. Let me ask you something simple. How fast do you walk these days? Not when you're rushing, but on a normal day, from the kitchen to the garden, down the street, across the room. You might think it's nothing, but to doctors and researchers, your walking speed is one of the clearest windows into your overall health and longevity, especially after the age of 70. Studies show that how quickly you walk can predict how long you'll live, even more accurately than blood pressure or cholesterol. Why? Because walking isn't just about legs. It's about your heart pumping, your lungs delivering oxygen, your brain sending signals, and your muscles responding. When these systems are in harmony, your steps feel steady and strong. But when one starts to slow down, your walk tells the truth long before the lab tests do. Sign number 2, grip strength, the whisper of strength you still hold. If walking is the rhythm of life, then your hands are its anchor. After 70, you might notice your grip isn't what it used to be. Twisting off a jar lid takes more effort, holding a coffee mug feels less steady, or maybe you drop things more often than before. Most people shrug it off. It's just old age, they say. But what if I told you your grip is quietly telling you something far deeper? Researchers now understand that grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of longevity, even more than body weight or blood pressure. Because your hands don't work alone. They're connected to a complex network of muscles, nerves, and blood vessels that start at your core and reflect your overall vitality. When that network weakens, your grip is often the first to speak up. Softly, humbly, but clearly. I once met a man named Mr. Ellis, 79 years old. He lived alone and was fiercely independent, but he came to see me, a little embarrassed, because he'd started spilling his coffee in the mornings. No pain, just a quiet weakness. He laughed it off. Guess I'm getting clumsy. But when we tested his grip, it was far below average. Not a crisis, but a message. We started small, softball squeezes, light resistance bands, but more importantly, I asked him to use his hands with intention, writing notes, holding newspapers, chopping vegetables, reconnecting through daily rituals. And in just a few weeks, he came back with a smile and said, "I feel stronger just holding the morning paper." That's the beauty of it. Grip strength isn't about lifting heavy weights. It's about connection between your brain and body, your will and your world. When you hold something firmly, even a teacup or a loved one's hand, you are saying, "I still have control. I still belong here." So don't ignore your hands. Check your grip, not out of fear, but out of respect, because it's never too late to rebuild strength. And often, the smallest muscles hold the loudest truth. You don't have to be young to be strong. You just have to start where you are and hold on with intention. Because sometimes, the way you hold the world is the way it holds you back. I remember an older gentleman named Mr. Victor, 74 years old. He used to walk every morning around the lake near his home. But after his wife passed, he stopped going. Grief sat in his chest, and soon, so did stiffness in his knees. One day, while stepping off a curb, he tripped and couldn't get up without help. That fall didn't just bruise his leg, it shook his sense of safety. When he came to see me, we didn't give him pills. We gave him purpose. 10 minutes of walking every morning. Not to break records, just to reconnect. After 3 weeks, he said, I didn't know my legs still had it in them. But they did. Because your legs remember. They remember movement. They remember rhythm. They remember hope. So if your steps have gotten slower, don't ignore it. Don't say it's just age. Your body is speaking, quietly, clearly, not in fear but in invitation. You don't need to walk fast to live long. You need to walk consistently, with awareness and with care. Because every step you take is more than movement. It's a promise. I'm still here. I still want to go forward. After grip comes something even more subtle, more silent. Your balance. You might not think about it often. Until one day, you wobble, stepping into the shower. Or you hesitate before walking across an uneven sidewalk. Balance is Scientists now recognize that balance is a critical predictor of longevity, especially after 70. Why? Because it's not just about your legs. Balance depends on a powerful trio, your brain, your nerves, and your muscles working in harmony. When one falters, the others follow. Poor balance is more than a fall risk, it's a signal, a whisper from deep inside. I'm losing trust in my own steps. I remember Mr. Harold, 76 years old, full of wit, still sharp as ever, but he told me with quiet embarrassment, I hold onto the wall when I get out of bed now. He hadn't fallen yet, but fear had crept in. I asked him to try standing on one leg for 10 seconds, eyes open. He laughed, but couldn't do it. So we started slow, standing with one hand on a chair, heel to toe walking, gentle ankle rolls each morning. 2 weeks later, he walked in and said, Doc, I trust my feet again. That trust changed everything, not just how he moved, but how he felt. Because balance is confidence in motion. When we lose balance, we begin to fear the floor. And when we fear the floor, we shrink our lives. Fewer walks, fewer outings, fewer chances to stay strong. But it doesn't have to be this way. Just like walking and grip, balance can return. It responds to attention, to practice, to the simple belief, I'm still in control of my body. Try it right now. Stand tall. Lift one foot, even if only for a few seconds. That single act sends a message to your body, we're still doing this together. Because balance isn't about never falling. It's about knowing how to stand again and never letting fear keep you still. Sign number 4, sleep patterns. The silent healer you can't live without. After walking, grip, and balance, we arrive at a sign most people overlook, your sleep. Not just how long you sleep, but how deeply, how easily you drift off, how often you wake during the night, and whether you rise feeling restored or just more tired than before. Sleep is not a luxury. It's not something nice to have. It is, quite literally, how your body repairs itself. After age 70, deep sleep becomes harder to achieve. Hormones shift, pain increases, the mind races, and yet, without sleep, nothing heals. Your muscles don't rebuild, your brain doesn't reset, your heart doesn't rest. What happens at night quietly shapes how well you function during the day. I once met Mr. Thomas, 82 years old, thin, alert, but always tired. He told me, I haven't slept through the night in over a year. He thought it was normal, just part of getting old. But it wasn't just fatigue. His memory was fading, his appetite was low, his spark was gone. We didn't give him pills, we gave him rhythm. A warm shower before bed, no screens after dinner, a soft light and 5 minutes of deep breathing, a journal beside his bed just to unload the mind. 2 weeks later, his eyes looked brighter. He told me, I still wake up, but now I fall back asleep. And most importantly, I feel like myself again in the morning. Because sleep is not a pause, it's a restoration. It's your nervous system saying, you're safe now, let me rebuild. When you sacrifice sleep, you sacrifice recovery. When you protect it, everything else gets stronger. Your immune system, your memory, your mood, even your balance and grip. It's all connected. If your nights are restless, don't ignore them. Listen, it's your body's way of whispering, I need time to heal. So tonight, don't just go to bed. Create a ritual. Honor the night and give yourself permission to rest, because aging with strength requires sleep, not just in hours, but in quality. You've earned peace. Let your body have it. Sign number 5. Appetite, when food becomes a mirror of life. After sleep comes nourishment, not just what we eat, but whether we still want to eat. Appetite, often brushed aside as just not feeling hungry, is one of the clearest signs of vitality after age 70. When your appetite fades, it's not just about taste, it's about life itself pulling back. You see, food is more than fuel. It's rhythm, it's connection, it's a daily vote for living. Remember Mr. Gregory. He was 80. Once an avid cook who used to hum while stirring soups, but when I met him, he'd stopped preparing meals altogether. "I'm just not hungry," he said quietly. His fridge was mostly empty. His energy low, his laughter gone. He didn't need a new diet. He needed a new reason to eat. We started simple. A brightly colored fruit every morning. Lunch in the garden twice a week. One neighbor over each Sunday, even if just for tea. A month later, his appetite returned, but so did his stories, his posture, his joy. Because appetite isn't just about digestion, it's about engagement. When the desire to eat slips away, it often reflects something deeper: loneliness, low mood, a quiet withdrawal from the world. And when appetite returns, it often signals that the soul is reawakening. Physically, a healthy appetite protects your muscles, your immune system, and your bones. It keeps your weight stable, your energy steady, and your mind alert. But emotionally, it's about presence. It's saying, "I still enjoy this. I still belong here." That's why we must not ignore the plate. Skipping meals, pushing food around, saying "I'm fine" when you're not eating. These are signs. Subtle, yes, but powerful. Your body is speaking. Are you listening? If you notice your appetite fading, pause. Don't force food, invite it. Color your plate. Share a bite with someone. Eat with your hands if it brings you joy. Let food be an experience again, not a chore. Because every bite is more than nutrition. It's an act of choosing life. After appetite, we turn to something less visible, but no less powerful: stress. Not the sharp kind that hits you in an emergency, but the slow burning kind, the quiet kind. The kind that lives inside your chest long after the noise outside has stopped. Stress after 70 doesn't always look like panic. Sometimes it's silence, a tightening of the shoulders, a heaviness in the morning, a deep sigh before bedtime that no one hears but you. And the truth is, chronic stress is one of the most dangerous things to your health. Even if your blood pressure looks fine, even if you smile through it. I once sat with Mr. Raymond, a retired engineer, 77 years old, polite, reserved, always on time, but his eyes told a different story. He said, "I feel like I'm aging faster than I should." He wasn't sleeping. He had no interest in his old hobbies. His doctor told him nothing was wrong, but something was missing. I asked him a simple question. When was the last time you truly let yourself relax? He couldn't answer. So we started small. Just 5 minutes of silence each morning. No news, no phone, just breath. After 2 weeks, he came back with a different energy. He said, "I'm not fixed, but I feel like I'm here again." Because stress is not weakness, it's weight. And after 70, your body doesn't carry that weight like it used to. Stress raises inflammation, it disrupts sleep, it weakens the immune system, it slowly chips away at memory, balance, appetite, and joy. And yet so many older adults carry it quietly, believing they have to be strong, to endure, to hold it all in. But real strength is knowing when to let go. You don't need to meditate for hours. You don't need to chant or sit cross-legged. You just need to give yourself permission to breathe, to pause, to be human. Because when you soften the stress, you soften the aging. You allow the body to shift from survival to healing. So if you feel the weight, don't ignore it. Put it down just for a moment. And remind your nervous system, I am safe, I am here, I still choose peace. That choice, repeated daily, could extend your life more than any medicine. Sign number 7, social connection, the invisible lifeline. After we've talked about walking, grip, balance, sleep, appetite, and stress, there's one final sign that often hides in plain sight, yet speaks louder than any lab test: your social connection. At age 70 and beyond, loneliness isn't just a feeling, it's a risk factor. As dangerous as smoking, as harmful as obesity. Because the human body, especially in later years, is wired not just for survival, but for belonging. We thrive when we feel seen, we heal faster when we feel heard, and we live longer when we feel loved. I remember Mr. David, 81, a widower, no children nearby. He told me, "Some days the only voice I hear is the TV." He wasn't sick, but his eyes looked tired, his steps slow, his laugh missing. He didn't need more pills, he needed presence. So we tried something simple: one phone call a day, one neighbor visit a week. Not deep conversations, just connection. A month later he said, "I still live alone, but I don't feel alone anymore." Because connection doesn't require a crowd, just a hand to hold, a voice to greet, a moment to share. Studies show that seniors with strong social ties have lower risk of heart disease, sharper memory, better mood, and yes, longer life expectancy. But social health, like physical health, requires maintenance. Friendships fade, family gets busy, and over time, your world can shrink. Not because you've chosen isolation, but because life moved quietly away. That's why now more than ever, connection must become intentional. Join a walking group, call someone from your past, share a meal, even if it's simple, volunteer, even once a month. Start with a wave, a smile, a "how have you been?" Because when you reach out, you remind yourself, I still matter, I still belong, I am still part of the world. And that feeling, being emotionally held, is one of the most powerful protectors of longevity science has ever found. So if your heart feels quiet, knock on a door. If your phone hasn't rung, make the call. Because connection is not a luxury, it's your lifeline. And every moment shared is a thread that strengthens the fabric of your life. So you see, your longevity isn't hidden in a blood test or locked behind some hospital machine. It's right here, in the way you walk, the strength of your grip, the steadiness of your balance, in how you sleep, how you eat, how you carry stress, and how connected you feel to others. These 7 signs aren't warnings. They're whispers, gentle reminders from your body saying, I'm still here, I still want to thrive. Please listen. Every small choice you make, a short walk instead of the couch, a phone call instead of silence, a quiet breath before sleep, isn't just a habit, it's an act of hope. You are not fading, you are refining. You are still capable of joy, strength, connection, and yes, longevity. So I ask you now, which of these 7 signs spoke to you most deeply? Is there one you've noticed in your own life? Leave a comment below. Let your story be a light for someone else who might be quietly struggling too. And if this video resonated with you, please share it with someone you care about. Subscribe for more uplifting science-backed insights on aging well, because you deserve to feel vibrant at every stage of life. Remember, you're still here, and every day you choose to live with intention is a day you rewrite what aging truly means.